Hello, so there's been a few combat updates since the last video, so I'm just going to go over the current setup that I use now after all of these combat updates. So the perks are going to be the same stuff here. You can take a look at the perks. The main difference is going to be the necklace here. I'm switching to a Blood Amulet of Fury with Powders of Protection. This will get you the reduced damage that the Essence of Finality does, but we can get the extra healing here. Because I'm switching to a Hellhound, which is much cheaper to use and dies slower, so it's much better to use a Hellhound. And the reason I'm able to do that is because the recent combat update improved the way channeled abilities work in Revolution. So now we can put Blood Siphon on the bar, and we won't lose a bunch of time after it finishes. Previously, your character would just pause after it finished, and against Ripper Demons, when you pause, you kind of die. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Other stuff, it's all the same. I have Poison Charming Potions. This just lets you actually gain charms even while using binding contracts. Like, gotten up to 40k blue charms at this point. That's this way, killing Ripper Demons, you don't actually ever have to farm blue charms to get the contracts because you get them back. Yeah, that's the main changes from the last time. So let's see what is my prayers, protect from melee and necromancy prayer. Ideally the tier 99 prayer. Alright, so I will go ahead and summon the Hellhound here. Turn on this Book of When. I like to start off with 100 adrenaline, so let's start off with 100 adrenaline. Actually, I'll show you my ideology relics. So, conservation of energy is not what you want for this. You definitely do want Fury of the Small. Death Note is nice because it'll note up the Infernal Ashes for you. The best is probably Berserker's Fury, but I kind of like to just throw on, where is it? Luck of the Dwarves, wherever it is. Here it is. I like to throw on the Luck of the Dwarves relic. Berserker's Fury can be nice, but you do tend to be max HP a lot, so it doesn't actually contribute a lot of damage. But with that out of the way, let's go. And the reason I really like Necromancy for this is because you just let the Revolution bar do everything, and then you can focus on, collecting the drops and stuff. At the end of this, I'll show you how you can do it with melee. It's just much harder. And managing the drops at the same time is just a little bit too much. So once we're here, we want to use all of our buffs. Because we'll show you the runes here. You need to be able to cast Prism and Animate Dead. I need 2 spells. So let's turn on all of our buffs. So we've got Animate Dead, Poison, Overload, Charm Potion, Warm Incense Sticks, Powder of Penance and Protection, Inspiration Aura. I've already turned on the Wen book previously. That's all of our buffs. Turn on our prayer. At the very beginning, you can cast a devotion here so that you don't take damage while you're setting up your cannon. Put the cannon here, turn it on, and then as you're walking, pay attention to demons with high adrenaline because you're going to want to make sure you take them out. So what you can do while your HP is high is to do a little lap here, run back, and if the demons that are teleporting to you have high adrenaline, you can right click on them, and then the one that you right clicked on will be on top. It didn't look like I saw any high adrenaline demons, so I should be good here. And as you can see, the blood siphon goes off, heals you up, and as soon as it ends, the revolution bar goes to the next ability. That's not how it used to work. And this allows us to use a Hellhound, which is much cheaper to upkeep. And look, it's dying way slower, so you don't have to cast Prism of Restoration as often. I also throw in a Demon Slayer ability whenever. And that's it. It's pretty much all full AFK at this point, as far as the combat goes. You can just pick up the drops. Like to note the weapon poisons. And that is it. Alright, as a bonus clip, let's do it with melee. It's a lot more input intensive with melee than it is with necromancy, so I would not recommend this, but you can really just, if you really want to have some fun, using something other than necro, do melee. The setup, it's pretty much same perks, fighting for Demon Slayer and all that. Crit Bloom, same, wearing a Jaws of the Abyss helmet and vestments, using PZK, that's just the highest tier weapon. You could probably get away with lower tier like a scythe, but might as well use the highest tier. You're going to want abyssal armor spikes for this as well, and you're going to chew through them pretty fast. As far as the familiar, I think Calgarian Demon's the best here. Scrimshaw Vampirism, and we are using Dragon Halberd in the EOF. For the bar, you can see it here. If you're gonna have to be doing a lot of manual skill use, but this is how I like the bar. Just prioritize the AoEs first, and Greater Fury and Chaos Roar. That's the next best non-AoE basics. Let's go. So when starting up with melee, I like to turn off auto retaliate just so that you don't walk out of position where the demons come on you. Oh yeah, and you want to set your Calgarian demon to 1, which means it'll automatically keep the crit buff up. We're going to use all the same buffs here. Turn on our Scrimshaw. Using a Supreme Brawler Aura for the extra accuracy, that's going to translate into more damage. You can also use Inspiration Aura as well. But yeah, everything else kind of the same. We've got our Incense Sticks, Weapon Poison. I have a Charming Potion to get more charms. And we be dead. And we should have all of our buffs on. Turn on our prayers. To pop a Devotion here just to take less damage at this stage. Place our cannon. Now this is just going to get a little bit tricky where you gotta kind of be careful about getting hit, and you could die here very easily to start. Yeah, not sure what's going on here. But, so we've got our Meteor Strike, and you're just going to want to spam this special attack now. Whenever you don't have an AoE up and you have height, you kind of have to really play around it. Let the hurricane and stuff go off, and don't use too many. You don't want to waste all your adrenaline and not have enough damage. Whenever the Meteor Strike is down, you use the Demon Slayer. Let this go off, and I'm gonna let the Great Fury go off. Then I'm gonna use a spec. And yeah, you just gotta play around with it. And don't use up too much of your adrenaline. You're high, you use a spec. Always let cleave go off pretty much. Since I'm getting up to meteor strike, I'm gonna let it go. And then you rinse and repeat. Use a spec there. To should have really let the quake go, and I'm gonna let the cleave. I'm using spec because I'm high adrenaline. And I keep using spec until my adrenaline falls. It's down to 60, so I wait. Hurricane, or I cleave and I spec. Hurricane. Now I'm gonna let it go. 100% adrenaline, I'm gonna spec. And whenever I'm 100%, I'm gonna use the spec. And yeah, this is how you would do it with melee. Not sure about the kills per hour. It's probably not better than Necromancy, I'll be honest. But you can do it. This is how. This is where the inspiration aura is nice to kind of get you that last bit of adrenaline to get up to your meteor strike again. I'm just gonna let it go. And leave. Use our spec. Use our spec. And yeah, I definitely prefer Necro because this gets pretty click intensive, especially when you're trying to note the binding contracts at the same time. And yeah, that Calgarian demon just helps us crit more, get more adrenaline back from Meteor. Yeah, and the key is to weave in just enough specs that you don't waste all your adrenaline, but you also do enough damage. You kind of just have to get a feel for it. I haven't been keeping the best track, but as you can see, I've gotten at least 115 kills. Probably let a few of them disappear. So as far as kills per hours go, it's pretty similar to Necromancy overall.